Hey guys, welcome back to Spooky Tuesday, a weekly podcast where we're breaking down all of our favorite slashers, thrillers, monster movies, and black comedies on the new scariest day of the week. I'm Cindy Thompson.
I'm Monica Height.
And I'm Chelsea Duff.
And this week, baby, we're going back to 1987. And did you know the late 80s were a really great time for a specific kind of movie? And that kind of movie is the action movie. And also the horror movie too. But the action movies of the late 80s really had some special sauce going on. That's kind of when I stopped caring about them. That's not true. There's some great stuff in the 90s. Things have gone downhill since then. But we are covering today a movie that is maybe the quintessential action horror movie. Because it's certainly an action movie, but it's certainly a horror movie. And it's a movie that these two bitches had never fucking seen before, and it's ridiculous. So I made them watch Predator. And I feel like we're all better for it. I hope.
I will
But
say,
anyway.
I was talking to somebody at a family wedding a weekend or two ago, and I told them they said Predator was one of their favorite movies, and I was like, "Oh, we're doing that next," and they were like, and they tried to do the hand thing to me, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he was like,
I did
"You'll
love
see."
seeing where that
And then
meme
1 second
came from.
in, yeah, I was like,
Very
"Oh, okay, yeah, I'm on board now."
You're like,
I
I
see.
have seen this before. Can't wait to make memes.
It is iconic.
Oh my God, it's so iconic. This is the type of movie that, like, I've seen it a million times, like years and years ago, but like having done a podcast based on making horror movies gayer for 5 years, it feels really like the right time to come back and revisit this film because, oh baby, I was screaming.
We've
I was
always talked
screaming.
about how to be in the army is to be homoerotic or whatever, but it feels very present in this film.
Woo! Oh my God. But anyway, before we get to the game at all, let me hit you with the IMDb log line. Okay, here we go. A team of commandos on a mission in a Central American jungle find themselves hunted by an extraterrestrial warrior.
Did you think that the
man.
word commando felt gay, Sydney? Is that what that face was for?
Yeah, like nobody's wearing.
Oh, they're
undies.
commando. Okay.
Yeah.
Why do they
None
call
of
it
them
that?
are
Why do you
wearing
think
Out
they
in
call
the
it
jungle
that?
together, going.
Why do you think they call it that? I'm actually gonna look that up. Why is it called Going Commando? To what likely refers to military commandos who are elite soldiers trained to be ready for action at a moment's notice.
Oh, so
The term
ready to get
suggests a sense
fucked.
of being undressed and ready to move instantly, much like a commando, and may also stem from soldiers avoiding underwear in hot or humid conditions to prevent chafing or fungal
Like jungle.
infection.
Yeah, I'm just
Like
saying.
jungle.
All
Like
these
jungle.
men are hot and ready.
They've got
All
their
these
dicks out.
men are
they're swinging
not
in their
wearing
pants.
underwear. Not a
They're
single one
not
of these
held
men is
nicely by a pair
wearing
of briefs.
underwear. They're all going commandos. They're commandos going commando. Wow.
They're
I
having to
learned a
walk
lot.
like this so that their balls unstick constantly. And
They're
I saw
having
that in
to
this
walk
film.
like that because their thighs are so muscular they can't walk like normal people. That's why Arnold Schwarzenegger doesn't actually fucking like look through where he's supposed to aim, I think, for this movie, because I don't think his arms will let him get the gun high up enough to his face to do that. Like, that is a
too
theory
ripped.
that Adam and I have. Oh my God. But yeah, this movie, oh my God. It's better than I remembered, in my opinion. You guys can feel however you want to feel about it. I can understand either way because it's an action horror movie. That's not for everyone. But like, God, the homoerotic subtext and just text was just unbelievably off the charts. And like the fucking one-liners Oh my god, it was so funny and it was so bloody. Oh, it was a feast for the eyes. I fell asleep like 16 times, but every time I was awake, I had a really good time. And it's not the movie's fault. It's cuz I had taken a movie supplement and that's why. But
That'll
like,
get ya.
wow. What a film. What a film. What a quintessential summer horror movie too. Whew. It's really doing something. But like just like starting it off, like the Arnold Schwarzenegger pornography that we receive in this film, like if you're even lightly attracted to him, it's a great time to be alive. Him in the red fucking skin tight polo shirt
Like immediately.
immediately with the fucking aviators with the cigar. Wow. Cool
He is a
guy
legend.
energy. He's such a legend. Ugh, and you get some of his best one-liners in this one too. So I hope that you enjoyed that. That was really good.
Get in
Some
the
of his like
chopper.
I didn't like get some of them, but whatever, it's fine. I was like, I'm not the target audience. Maybe other people do understand what the purpose that this line is serving. Like when he throws the knife and then it's like stick there or whatever. What does he say? Stick stick around. It's like, what does that mean in this context? They're like, he had to, it was in IMDb trivia. It said,
it's just like a joke. It's just a joke, Chelsea.
It's
but
Like it's stuck
provocative.
in it gets the
because
people
it got
going.
stuck in him.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
It's literally that simple. What did you think it could possibly be? It's certainly not more complex than that. I'll tell you that.
Usually when they're like doing a little one-liner, it's like a little jokey joke that is kind of punny. And this one I was like
That
literally
is
what
literally that is a pun right
he
there. I
got
think that's
stuck
a
with it.
pun.
Yeah, the trivia was like the machete like weapon that Dutch throws at the bad guy. It was made special for the film, first of all.
Mhm.
Because this knife guy was trying to be like, hey, want to use my knives in your action movie? And they were like, no, but you could make us a machete. So he made them a knife, and then IMDb trivia says, and IMDb trivia is full of movie urban legends for this film. That I looked up
Love
some
it.
of them to be like, is that true? And other people were like, no, that's not true. But they're fun, so we're probably going to say them anyway. But this one, it was like it ended up being bigger and heavier than they expected. So the quote "stick around" quip was added as a way for Dutch to get rid of it. And then I was like, "What does that mean?"
What does that
That
even
just doesn't
mean?
feel real. Like he's got a lot of weapons. He's got a lot of weapons. That's his whole thing. Okay.
Whatever. I released that line.
I'm glad that you can release that weight, that over heavy knife's weight that you're carrying. You should have a plastic one like mine, and then you'll be ready to go.
That also
I
was
didn't
just like
know.
one of the first one-liners. But then 1 second later, he was like, "Knock, knock," and I was like, "Okay, we're now in one-liner land, so
And
that's
we're
fine."
back.
Yeah.
I'm
And
just
we're
so
back.
glad because I feel like that first like huge fight sequence that we get is so funny. It's like horrific, and they're just literally like blowing these bad guys to fucking smithereens. They're just absolutely destroying them, and it goes on for so long. But I understand like the point of doing that. Like they're trying to set up, and I think it's effective as a scare, as how it plays into the scares for later on, because they're trying to set up for the viewer, like, yeah, you already can tell because we have what's his character's name? Carl Weathers Dylan is his character's name, being like, you guys are the best of the best, and that's why we brought you in here, because you're the best of the best, you know. And
Gotta have you, and why'd you
we
turn down that other
know
mission? Because we know you're the best. We wanted you, and then Schwarzenegger sets up their thing by being like, "We're not assassins. We're a rescue mission."
we are rescuers. Yeah, I love his accent. I love him. I love him. So many of my favorite movies are Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. Okay, so I love him so much. But anyway, like they have this like insane scene where they're like, there's like no competition. They just absolutely decimate these guys. They like surrounded them, killed them all. Pretty insane because they're not assassins, they're rescuers. Everyone who they're trying to rescue was already fucking dead. Really too bad that they watched that guy that they were trying to rescue get shot point blank in the head, like right as they
Right.
arrived. That was pretty shittiest timing. But like it's supposed to show their like prowess, that they're just like no holds barred, like they can kill everyone, they can destroy like 100 fucking dudes, and there's only what, like 7 or 8 of them, who knows, I can't count them, they keep moving around.
I think 7. And they already sent
7.
in a team of 6 soldiers that nobody mentioned to Schwarzenegger, and those guys got decimated. So
Yeah. Well, the whole thing is to be like, okay, now you've seen first person viewer, like you have seen how these guys do their shit and it's fucking crazy. And then you see like how their machismo and everything like starts to fall away as they are so authentically scared by this predator that is hunting them, like something that they, even the guys who are the best of the best, who just you just saw blow up 400 people, like they are no match for whatever the fuck this entity is. I thought that was very effective. um and not that this movie necessarily like really scares me or anything, but I do like the way that it puts together the horror elements of the movie. I think that they're classic, and it's really cool to see these macho characters like express their fear in the ways that they can, because you know they're only going to do it so much because of who they are and how they express themselves, but because they're men. But
when that one
I
guy was like, I ain't got time to bleed. And the other one was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, do you have time to duck or whatever he
Yeah.
says, or take cover? So fucking funny. I love that guy. I mean, and his just whole characterization, just the way that he looks. Which guy
Is
is
that
he? Why is
Blaine?
he?
Jesse
Yeah, it's Blaine.
Ventura.
Jesse Ventura. One, Jesse Ventura feels like a porn star name, and I love that about him.
He was
Okay.
a
Also,
WWE, or at that point WWF wrestler, and
Oh.
I think like 4-term mayor of somewhere
He's the
in Minnesota.
governor. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the governor
So
of
we have
like
two
Mississippi.
governors.
Minnesota. We have 2
Three would be
governors.
politicians because the guy who plays Billy also tried to run for office at one point.
Billy, who needed Sonny something, who needed
Sonny
a literal
Landham.
bodyguard because
Yeah.
he was a little too violent. And also, like, I read somewhere it was like they were out at a dance club and he kept like licking people or something like that. And it made everybody
Oh.
very uncomfortable.
Well,
Well,
don't
maybe
worry, they're
that's
all
why he
Republicans
wasn't.
/ independents / libertarians. So
Of course they are.
They deserve to be licked.
I'd take Arnold Schwarzenegger again over a lot of the fucking shit that we've had to go
the
through.
governor.
But no.
Yeah. Well, it's
governor.
nice that he is having some good opinions these days, so that's helpful.
Yeah. He posted that picture of him with the gay flag on top of it, so pretty big. Pretty
King.
cool.
I mean, he
Thank you,
wasn't
King.
basically a gay softcore porn, so he should.
They're
No,
fucking
but, like,
second
just-
just off camera in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like just look at Blaine, Jesse Ventura. Like, if that ain't a man drawn by Tom of Finland, I don't know what is. Like, he literally looks like you could just take him right out of one of the beautiful orgy sequences. Like, I should go grab my Tom of Finland shirt. I should be wearing my Tom of Finland shirt, actually.
Truly.
It would be very appropriate, because that is what all of these men look like. They look like characters out of Tom of Finland. It's insane. Like, especially that opening sequence with the handshake that broke the internet, the handshake that began and ended all handshakes, the handshake that goes, the dap that goes straight into arm wrestle is probably the most like hyper masculine thing I've ever seen in my life. But like, they're both in these fucking like skin tight little shirts. Carl Weathers with his little
Bulging.
tiny tie. Their
Mhm.
muscles are bursting fucking out of their shirts. Like they're caricatures of masculinity. It's so funny, and it's just so gay. Like, they just play this like the brotherly love. I don't know how they could be intending it any other way. I guess that's just how bros are sometimes that are masculine. But like, oh my god, like they feel like exes, like seeing each other
No,
for the first.
100%
Dutch
I
and
agree.
Dylan feel like they are
They're
ex-boyfriends.
amicable exes who are in the process of remembering throughout the movie why they broke up.
Exactly. They're like so like the lust is so palpable in that first second, then you're totally right. Then they're just like, actually, I don't agree with anything that you do or say.
We have very different viewpoints on the world and how things should work. And also, I think that Dylan is in a new relationship with Hopper Hawkins, not Hawkins, I'm Hawkins, Hopper, Jim Hopper, I guess, who was skinned alive and he was so sad about. He has that one moment where whatever he's
Oh.
saying and his eyes are like filling with tears. And my note
Oh,
is,
when
why are
he's
his eyes
like
full of tears? Like he is heartbroken to betray the man he loves. Gay. That was when he was talking to Dutch. He's
when he's like
betraying Dutch.
finally, yeah,
You're an
admitting that
asset,
he
an
lied.
expendable asset, and I used you to get the job done. Got it? Because he had to save his new man, Jim Hopper, but it's too late.
Yeah.
Okay, if Chelsea's what, Hawkins?
Mm-hmm.
Monica, who are you?
I'm Billy.
Want to know who
Obviously.
I
Come on.
am?
Sorry. My
Who are
shirt
you?
came
Tell
undone.
me.
Who are
I'm
you?
Cadet Kelly.
Oh, good.
Oh my god, I'm so glad Cadet Kelly is here to
Thank God. Weigh in,
do
queen.
some stomping and some clapping and
I've got
There's a
a
little,
ribbon
like,
and I
like
know how to use
that.
it.
She's
What do they do?
she's okay.
The rifle
There
dance.
actually is a very Cadet Kelly moment in this movie where Blaine spits on Dylan's shoes. I did hate Blaine for that. That turned me off of Blaine at first. I was like, he not only is he racist, but also he was the one that was like a lot of faggots around here, so he's homophobic. But then it turned out he had a
F's
beautiful
for
love story with
November.
Uh-huh.
the callback. He had a beautiful love story with a black man in Mac because Blaine and Mac are in love with each other. And so I was like, oh my God, King, I read you so wrong.
So, okay, was that okay? Take off your eyes that are in your face that see the truth. So, aka, take out your gay eyes and put them away for a second. Is that what that was supposed to be with Blaine and Dylan? He was supposed to be being racist towards Dylan?
I don't think he was being, I don't think that in the 80s that they thought that they were writing something racist. I think
What did
that
he
they were
say?
showing that he didn't say anything. He just was chewing tobacco and then he spit it on the floor in the helicopter onto Dylan's boot. I don't think he necessarily was aiming.
It
I
doesn't
think he didn't give a shit, and they were showing that he was like disrespectful. His only loyalty is to their team, not this outsider who's coming in trying to
Okay,
tell them
that's how
what to
I
do.
interpreted it
Yeah.
too. That he was just like, I don't respect your authority here.
Yeah.
I like Dutch is my daddy. That's how I read it. Okay, gay eyes back on. Okay. Boy, I feel way better. The world just is so much more beautiful now. Anyway, I felt like Blaine, like definitely. I think maybe there's just like a open like kind of poly thing going on with all the guys in this platoon or
I feel like
whatever the
Blaine and
word
Mac,
is. I know
they're-
that, but there aren't any vibes for that until like later on. Not in that so far in that scene. So far in the movie, I hadn't seen any vibes between them. If
Okay.
you disagree, let me know. But I hadn't seen any other vibes from him. So when he spit on Dylan's shoes, I was like, he's mad at him because he thinks he's stepping on his man, which is Dutch. But that was when I was in a space where I was like, everyone's in love with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and that's so understandable. And he has the biggest muscles out of everyone. They measured, actually, this is a fun fact. They measured muscles. Apparently it was all up a prank. But basically, the costume designers told Jesse Ventura that he had the biggest muscles and they were bigger than Arnold Schwarzenegger's. They measured. And so then Jesse Ventura was like, haha, you little bitch. Let's measure our muscles, Arnold Schwarzenegger. And so then they measured, and Arnold's were bigger. And so Arnold won some champagne because of that. But also he rigged the entire game because he lied. He told the costume designers to tell Jesse Ventura that he had smaller muscles than Jesse Ventura, just so Jesse Ventura would go
Would
fucking
get a big
crazy
head
about
it,
it,
yeah.
and get a big head about it. I was like, that's why he's our man, my man, my man, my man.
Yeah.
Okay, that's so funny.
Yeah.
He's like, I know what these guys are about, and I'm gonna get under their fucking skin.
I got the sense that a lot of the IMDb trivia came from a book about Arnold Schwarzenegger where he must have like done interviews and shared all kinds of anecdotes, but that have been like blurred by time and memory, blah blah blah. And that when you actually like go back and look things up later, that's not true. Because like one of the main ones is that the idea for this movie came from a joke about Rocky Balboa, the Rocky movies
Oh,
famously starring Carl Weathers, as
yeah.
Apollo Creed. And the joke after the fourth one, when he, and I haven't seen any of the Rocky movies, but I've read about them now, and I also know a fun fact about the robot
Oh,
in
I
the
was
fourth
thinking about
movie.
Rambo. Oh my God, sorry. That's why I pointed at myself. You said Rocky.
Mm,
I thought Rambo. And anyway,
yeah.
I'm an idiot. Keep going.
Is Rambo also Sylvester
That's
Stallone? Because that makes
Rambo Sylvester Stallone, and he has the
yeah.
this thingy on his head. And anyway, I
When they
was
were saying
wrong.
the words
Sorry.
Expendables a lot, I also was like, when did the movie The Expendables came out? But that's a recent movie. That was like 2010. Anyway,
That's recent. That's recent. Yeah.
there's this lore that is not correct. I looked it up, but the lore about this movie is that it was based on a joke somebody made about Rocky Balboa after the fourth movie, where he stops the Cold War by doing a boxing match against a Russian guy and winning. That they were like,
That is
the
so
only
cool.
person Rocky has left to fight and win is E.T. And then they're like, ha ha ha, what if we had an action star against an alien? And like that is how this movie was born. And that originally it was just supposed to be a one man thing, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger was like, "No, I want to have my team of guys." But the original script was going around before Rocky 4 came out, and it featured a team of guys from the beginning. Although actually, Billy was the main character, or the like a Native American tracker, I think, was the main character originally. So that is not true, but it is very fun to think that it was a Rocky Balboa joke.
Yeah, I was just reading some trivia, and they were saying that because Billy's character is a Native American tracker, that's how they got the idea
I
of
was thinking about that too.
prey. Yeah, they're like, oh, there's already this Native American connection. Let's have that be like a vantage point into this series, which I've already talked about in our exclusive content. How much I fucking love that movie and how I thought it was a really interesting like look. I don't know. That's
Also,
one thing
just a
I'll
fun
say about.
title.
Yeah, well, they've done
Predator
a
and
really good.
Prey.
They've done such a good job with like finding interesting entry points into this franchise that aren't just
Mhm.
like rehashing the same thing
Well,
over and
because
over
apparently
again.
the Predator xenomorph alien thing is because in Predator 2, maybe they just like randomly you see a xenomorph skull in its ship or something like that. And it was just like an Easter egg fun thing that they were doing during Predator 2, from what I can tell. But then people like got so excited about those universes as being connected and came up with all kinds of like comics and fan lore and blah, blah, blah. And that's kind of what sparked them eventually to really meaningfully engage with that and do Alien vs. Predator.
Everyone should go on to the avpfandom.com and you'll learn so much. Cuz I'm getting spoiled for other movies right now, but oh my god, the horrors of this franchise are never ending. So it seems. But yeah, I really think that the Predator in and of itself like is such a good alien villain for a horror movie because they're called the yeah oh god, I'm not gonna say it right. Oh no, no.
Leo did the
Yaucha.
explanation for how to pronounce it
Yaucha.
that one time.
Ya Yaucha. That's what it says. YA-OOT-JA. That's the phonetic spelling. So Yaucha?
Where did
Yaucha?
he
I think that's
say?
what the phonetics would be. But it's YAUTJA. That's how it's actually spelled. Um, but I think, and I was
Yaucha
talking
is what Leo said.
Yaucha. Okay.
Yaucha.
Yaucha. Yaucha. Um, anyway, I just think that one of the main reasons why humans are terrified of aliens in general is because there is that idea that there could be one, it's just the fact that something different is out there and it could have sentience at all. But two, it's there's something that's different that's out there.
We're
It's not
not
you,
the
it's not
apex
me.
predator.
And it can be much fucking smarter than you.
Not
It could
even
have
Arnold
tech beyond
Schwarzenegger.
you can
If
believe.
Arnold Schwarzenegger
Okay,
can't beat it, we're doomed.
That
no,
was
I know, but like
even
it's
our
a smart.
muscliest man on canned meat.
Okay, fuck off. It's a smart concept for creating fear in people.
I'm not making fun of the concept. It's just funny.
Well, I'm
Okay,
trying to
can
say
I
something
say
smart
something?
right now, and can you stop being goofy for 1 second? No, I'm kidding.
Okay, hold on. Can I say something so brave?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm looking at the Predator and I don't know why, but it's kind of giving pug energy to me.
Oh, I see that.
Like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, that's a pug.
It's giving pug. I see that.
Like, if
Its
a
face
pug
is
was
all
like
smooshed together.
radioactive or something, like, that's a pug with dreads.
I can see that.
It's-
yeah.
It's a pug with dreads, and it also has mandibles, which I really
So
find
important, apparently.
Mhm.
deeply important. I think it's very spooky. It does look stupid. I get that, but I also think it's very unsettling and cool.
Is this where,
But anyway,
do you think, obviously, this, like, inspired Stranger Things with their thingamabobber, the
Demogorgon, yeah, because
Yeah.
its mouth opens the same way, and Jim Hopper's name is the same as Jim Hopper, and also Rick Hawkins, the character I'm dressed up as, Hawkins is the name
Is
of
Hawkins
the town.
in Indiana, and they're both set in the
And
80s.
it's like 80s sci-fi horror, which is where they pull
oh,
like all
100%.
of their inspiration
Yeah.
from.
As somebody who
oh.
never saw Predator before watching Stranger Things,
I was shocked.
I was like,
I was
oh,
shocked.
I'm getting, oh, this sounds so familiar.
Well, that's the thing with Stranger Things. Stranger Things is just an amalgamation of every like 70s,
Yeah.
80s property
Yeah.
together, and that's why
Nightmare on
people
Elm
love it so
Street.
much.
Yeah, but I didn't know
That's why
the
people love it so much.
references.
Yeah.
I know.
It was
now
not
you're
a
learning
clear
so much.
reference to me.
Aren't you so glad I made you watch this? Because now the world makes sense to you. It's one of those. It's
My
one of
season
those.
5 watching is going to be so informed.
It's gonna
I
be
need to
so
rewatch
informed.
all of
People
them,
on
actually.
Reddit were like, maybe that Jim Hopper from Stranger Things is gonna join the military after being in Hawkins, and then he's gonna go get skinned over in Valverde, which is the name of the fake country made up for this movie. Although I don't know if they ever say it in the movie itself.
Oh, okay. I was like, they're talking about all the like geopolitical shit going on with whatever was going on, and I was like, I hope nobody brings that up. And now I'm the one bringing it up because I have no idea. I was like, I'm not prepared to speak on the
Yeah.
geopolitical implications of the film Predator 1987. Thank you.
All we know is fuck the Soviets.
Like the Soviets. But yeah, they used a made-up country for it on purpose.
Yeah, no, that's smart. That's smart. And it was filmed in Mexico.
Guatemala? And no, Mexico. But the map that they show makes it look like the real country that they would be in if they were in a real country was Guatemala.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know, but like I do want to harp on the thing I was saying earlier a little bit more because I think that the Predator movies have like lasted so long and they've been able to do such interesting things with them because it is such a strong concept and it is something that is like part of like, you know, what fueled us for the space race and all of these different things like the great American and mankind fear of an alien that is out there, something that's out there that's smarter than we are, that will have no chance of standing up against. And I think it's also there's space for it compared to aliens, compared to xenomorphs specifically, excuse me. Because the xenomorph, though fucking terrifying and advanced in its own ways, and it's very, very smart, it's still like an animalistic at its core. Like it feels like an animal that's coming to get you, and there's less like of any sort of way for you to like communicate or anything with them. But that's the other reason why I love the Predator so much, because it like really, if these people had time for self-reflection in the midst of their horrific event, they're really holding like a mirror to like the worst parts of human culture, and like the way that like we're so horrified looking at this predator who comes to earth and kills for sport and for fun and takes trophies and like takes the teeth and the skulls back home with them and blah 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 blah. Like that is the exact same thing
I
that
see
we
your
do.
deer head mounted on the wall in your cabin.
Exactly. It's literally the same thing as humans hunting, and like human hunting is a lot of it is super crucial, you know, we're hunters and gatherers to start things out, but this is not that. This
This
is
is
not
people
for
going
food,
on
it is
big
for
game
sport. This
hunting in
is
Africa kind of
Right.
thing.
shooting lions and
Lions
yeah,
and like the apex
exactly.
predator in their habitat.
Yeah.
And just like and like playing with them because you know that you're smarter than them, you know, because you're the human and so you think you can do this. And then these are the like best killers or rescuers if you're Arnold Schwarzenegger. The best killers in the entire world, and they stand not a fucking chance up against this predator. I don't know. I think it is a compelling idea.
It would be like if I decided, the apex predator decided to hunt men for sport, you know?
They'd have no
Exactly.
chance.
They'd have no chance.
They'd have no chance. They don't have the technology that Sydney has.
They don't have Mountain Dew and
She's
what
got it
is
running through her veins. So
Yeah, Mountain Dew and
Sperm dead.
crack. What are those crack
Those
little
glow
like glow
sticks.
sticks?
Oh, glow
That's
sticks.
what the blood and KY jelly.
Glow
That's
stick
what
and KY
predators'
jelly, yeah.
blood
It's
and
always
Mountain
KY
Dew. That's what their
jelly.
mud. That's what their blood is made out of.
Well,
They're
they
like
didn't want it to be
neon
too
yellow.
liquidy. It needed to stick to the leaves a little bit.
Yeah,
Oh my god,
and that
picture
is
you sent,
exactly what
Sydney.
is running through my veins. KY jelly,
and glow
uh,
stick liquid.
and Mountain Dew.
I think it just looked like Mountain Dew.
No, it literally is Mountain Dew. Like they
What
use
was
Mountain
Mountain
Dew
Dew?
in it.
What was
The
Mountain
blood.
Dew? What part of it? The blood was glow sticks.
I could have sworn there was Mountain Dew in
People
there
compared
also.
it to the color of Mountain Dew, but I don't think Mountain Dew was in it.
I don't care. I believe that if you drank it, it would give you enough caffeine like
I
Mountain
believe that
Dew.
if you drank it, it would be a new flavor of Baja Blast.
If
Yeah,
I believe that if you drink it, you will die because that's why they're so bad. They're so adamant about not putting glow sticks in your fucking mouth. I remember my friend put one in his mouth and he went like, "Arr," and then he accidentally bit it and his teeth all started glowing and we were like, wow, that's so cool. And then they're like, call poison control. It was a big deal.
Did they
It
have
was
to go
a
to the
big
hospital?
deal.
Did they die?
They're dead now. I don't remember what happened,
R.I.P.
so I
Yeah,
just
he
remembered
died.
the
He
glowing
died that
teeth.
day.
They died.
They took him to
You're
the hospital, but it
definitely-
better be safe.
And
He
he
died that
immediately
day.
died.
We were pretty drunk, so I can't tell you exactly what happened. But yeah, I think I love that concept for it, and I love the way that the Predator looks, even though it is stupid. But I do love the way that it was gonna look too when it was Claude Van Damme who was gonna be the Predator.
Jean-Claude Van Damme!
Where he was like
Jean-Claude Van
inch,
Damme.
he's an inch taller than me.
Well, it was
Or
gonna
he's
be
half
more
an
of
inch
like
taller
a
than me.
martial arts kind of vibe. Okay, there was gonna be like some cool martial arts shit that the Predator was doing, but then it wasn't working, and the outfit like didn't actually allow him to do martial arts stuff. And so they're like, okay, well, I don't think this is gonna work. And Jean Claude Van Damme was like, if I can't do my cool shit, then what's the fucking point? I'm just in this horrible costume for no reason. So he quit. And then they replaced him with Kevin Peter Hall, who is 7'2". And so he was prepared to carry the literal 200-pound suit that he had to wear, which is so crazy. Oh, that's who it was. It was James Cameron. James Cameron is the one who said that there should be mandibles.
Yeah.
Because Stan Winston did the special effects for this. Stan Winston, special effects king. And James Cameron was like, I've always wanted to see a scary thing that's got mandibles. What do you think about adding the mandibles? Stan
Yeah,
Winston
because
was
they
like,
were
of
flying
course,
to do a
James.
conference for like aliens or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
because he
good.
worked
Oh
on
my God.
Aliens too, and he worked on Jurassic Park, and he worked on Lake Placid.
Say aliens or fucking Leo's gonna come for your life.
I could take Leah.
This was a thing over the weekend where Adam called it Alien 2 and Leo was like, oh, I can't believe it.
How dare
Leo.
he?
And then I
called it
told Adam
Aliens at a
that, and then
different
Adam was
point.
like,
I'm
ugh,
clarifying now.
they were beefing through me through the Discord.
That's the way it gotta be sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah, do a little beef, and it's important. But yeah, I think also the most like compelling character in this whole movie for me is Mac, played by Bill Duke. I am just like so obsessed with him. I think that no one should talk or say anything ever again, and it should just be Bill Duke, and he should say everything. I think he should just take over wholesale as the speaker for the human race because he just brings this like terrifyingly spooky gravitas to everything that he says or does. And
It's
it
very
is
haunting.
so iconic. He's so haunting. Oh my God. God, he's incredible. He's just incredible. And I really, really loved all of the like I love all the little like character ticks that they do for people. Like we don't get a ton from everyone, but I'm obsessed with him having to always be as smooth as a baby's bottom, and he just has
That's
to be
how Blaine
completely
likes
shaved at
him.
all time. Oh my God, that is how Blaine likes him.
That's why he was shaving, because he was grieving. So that's because otherwise, why is he doing that? But
That's his
somebody
little
on
thing he
IMDb
does.
was like, Bill Duke improvised the shaving, and I was like, what? Why?
It was a
Other-
choice he made as an actor. Respect him
I
as an
think he'd be
actor,
shaving in
Chelsea.
this moment, and the crew had to run around and find a razor or to make a razor that squirts blood so that he'd have that blood moment. And again, I don't know why that was a choice that was being made. I don't know why these macho men were like, yeah, he's gonna be shaving in this scene. You know how men be shaving.
Well,
Shaving is like
But
really manly, Chelsea.
shaving to soothe himself, his self-soothing technique. He's mourning Blaine. He's like,
exactly.
this is how Blaine liked me, smooth as a baby.
I think that it's fair. I feel like that's his like hold on to his humanity when he's in it's not funny, it's his hold on to his humanity when he's in the midst of all of this like hellish shit. Stop laughing. It's very important, okay? No, but I thought that it was humanizing of him that he had this thing like this is this his like tie to society that he brings into the jungle even when they're in the midst of a literal alien invasion and like having to kill like 400 men.
Shave. Except it's not dry
Well,
shaving.
he's
They're
not
also
dry because
sweaty
he's
all
so
the time.
fucking sweaty.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's so
For a
sweaty. It's
second,
a very
when I
wet
was getting
shave.
ready, or not when I was getting ready, but when I was planning what I was going to wear earlier, I was like, should I just be spritzing myself constantly so that I'm glistening, or
Should I just be
just
soaking
get
wet
my
the entire
spritz?
episode? Gonna mess up your microphone. Could be dangerous.
Too damp.
Be very
Too
too
damp,
damp.
too
Much,
wet. Talking about these
much
Wet and wild,
too
babies.
damp. Oh wait, what was the other funny one? Who was the guy? Who was the guy who was the little scrawny guy? What was that guy's name?
Hawkins
With the glasses.
With the glasses.
Was it Hawkins?
Yeah.
Okay, that's Shane Black. They
He's
killed
the
him off
first
first
to
because
die, right?
Yeah, they
He's
killed
the one that
him
gets
off
like dragged
first.
into the wilderness when he's with the lady.
Apparently, they killed him off first because he like was part of the writing team or something. Let me double check really quickly.
He is a writer. He's written a bunch of stuff, including the Lethal Weapons movies, and the Nice Guys, and like a bunch of other stuff. And apparently, he came up with those big pussy jokes himself. You guys,
Good for
That
him.
was a really funny. That
In
was
his
such a funny
honor.
joke because he told it. I didn't realize the first time I watched it that he literally told it to Billy twice, and the first time Billy was like, "Okay."
Not
probably
moved.
good." And then the second time he does that like fucking insane laugh, which is so funny and also very haunting later on in the movie, so don't forget that. But I just thought that was hysterical. And also watching this movie, again, I hope all the puzzle pieces in your whole brain are coming together and you're having such a beautiful experience. Jay Baruchel in Tropic Thunder is 100% supposed to be
I
a
think
dupe
of
for
Tropic Thunder a
Hawkins.
lot.
100%. Oh, Tropic Thunder is coming for Predator's life. 100%. It is so obvious. Like, who is Robert Downey Jr. trying to be other than Carl Weathers? Like, that is what is happening there. I don't know how you talk about that movie, but I saw it at a movie at a bar recently. It was playing on TV, and I was like, "Everybody, shut the fuck up! I'm watching the movie. I'm not
locked
gonna
in.
talk to you. I'm locked in.
My
You're
show is
suspended.
on.
My
Shut
show
up.
is on." I was literally there with Alex and Adam, and I was just like, "You guys talk. I gotta go."
I'm busy, actually.
I'm busy actually, but yeah. Was Oh yeah, cuz he is a writer, they wanted him killed off early so he could do rewrites on set in case they needed it. And they so that way they would like get him to be out there in the fucking jungle with them, and then they kill him off first so then they can put
Oh,
him
I
in
guess you're
to
stuck
work
on
behind the scenes.
set. You weren't planning to
Unfortunately,
go home anytime soon, right?
unfortunately though, Shane Black, cuz he is the youngest boy who is there, so it seems. He, is still he's much younger than everyone else. You can tell that by his IMDb picture. He wrote and directed the 2018 sequel The Predator, which I saw people like I was looking up this Predator and people were throwing fucking stones at The Predator left and
Oh.
right like cuz I haven't seen it yet. But there is some shit talking happening as I looked at facts for this movie. So, sorry, Shane. It's all right. I'm sure that there are things to love about it, and I will watch it someday, and I will
Fascinating
tell you
cast,
how I feel.
though.
Oh yeah, who's in that
Alfie
one?
Allen, Sterling K. Brown, Keegan Michael Key, Boyd Holbrook, Trevante Rhodes, Jacob Tremblay, Olivia Munn.
Oh my
Mm,
god.
stacked.
Oh, I remember this. When a young boy accidentally triggers the universe's most lethal hunters to return to Earth, I bet that was Tremblay. Only a ragtag crew of ex-soldiers and disgruntled scientists can prevent the end of the human race. Oh, they make its mouth go big open a lot more in this one. The mandibles are fully extended, okay? Horrifying. Interesting. That's not one of the ones where everyone's like, this is a masterpiece, and it's so magical that they keep coming out with masterpieces in the Predator franchise. This is not one of those ones. That's Prey and Killer of Killers, which I really want to watch Killer of Killers. Again, it's the animated one. You
I
might
will
like it.
say,
You might like it, Sydney.
I think having
Maybe.
watched the Predator Badlands trailer was informative a little bit here because I know it makes Monica mad, but whenever anybody is like, have you seen any of the Predator things? I'm always just like, I've seen Alien and Aliens, but that's not relevant until way later. So I came in not really knowing anything about the Predator species or character. What I didn't even know for sure what the deal was. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
knew from the Predator Badlands one. And so when we first saw him doing like thermal vision, heat vision, I was like, do they have technology or is this just like an ability that their species has? I don't know yet. And then it was quickly revealed, not quickly, but medium soon revealed that they're very technologically advanced.
Mhm.
But I came in not really knowing anything other than they come to other planets to do a hunt.
Yeah.
Because that guy is like on his first hunt in Predator Badlands. But I don't know. It was interesting. That was a good. I was glad I had that background at least. But it also could
Yeah.
have been fun to go in completely blind because again, this is the first movie in the franchise. So everybody who was seen it back in
Yeah.
1987, they didn't have any other
They
touch
didn't
points.
know.
I
Again,
didn't
if I
watch
had
the
known that, I
trailer for
wouldn't have
this
made us
movie.
do the Predator Badland trailer. I don't feel like they would have given away that much in it because you don't
I'll
even
have to.
really
I'm
like
curious though.
learn that at all in this. But it's cool because there's like a whole like culture that the what is it? The Yautja have.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Yautja. Um they have like a whole fucking culture and it involves these ritualistic killings and going out to prove yourself and that sort of a thing. And it's really cool. It's like a rich, fucked up culture, but it just sucks to be on the receiving end of it. Ain't the best.
um,
Ain't the best.
apparently there were books or book or something at least first. And in the books, it's a little different because the predator species, they're more like shapeshifters. And they can mimic any form it chooses from just the slightest physical contact. And they're even capable of dissipating entirely, vanishing and becoming part of the blowing breeze. But in the books, they're more like scientists, so they're like studying humans, and when they are getting all torn to shreds, it's more because they're like dissecting them for scientific knowledge and research. But for a fun action movie, I like that they're hunters. And it feels very fun with just like the very hyper masculine vibes in general.
And Hunter was the original name of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Oh, I guess okay, now I'm rereading this. Um I perhaps misunderstood. I don't know if it was a book before the screenplay or if there was a novel. I don't It says in the novelization of the film, the predator is very different. I don't know why they would change it from what it is in the movie if it's a novelization of the movie, but whatever. That's kind of dumb. Why would they change it after the
Wait,
fact?
okay, listen to this. The original screenplay was later adapted. That's why I am reading something because I was like, I thought that it was novelized after. Ever since the discovery of the original Predator designs, so that's the Jean-Claude Van Damme one.
Mm.
I sent a picture of it, but I'll include this link in the. It's the Screen Rant 15 facts you would like to know about
Ooh.
Predator. That one. Click on that. You can see the pictures we're talking about. Ever since the discovery of the original Predator design and the many changes that were made to the screenplay, fans were curious about how it would have turned out. Well, their curiosity can be satisfied with the comic Predator, the original screenplay by Dark Horse Comics. A similar treatment was given to both Alien and Alien 3 by Dark Horse. Rather than the classic Predator the fans know, it featured a more nimble and reptilian version that became the unused suit. This isn't the only time the design was reused. It was also repurposed for an alien creature in another movie that I won't say because it's a spoiler for that movie.
Spoilers.
God, there's another. There's also a. Oh my God, there's so many movies in this franchise that I've not watched, and so many of them are so recent, like relatively recent, within the last 15 years. So pretty crazy. Yeah. So I don't know if that's exact if that we're saying the same thing, Chelsea, differently, but it seems like
I wonder if the novelization was started before they ended up changing aspects of the movie, because obviously they'd started filming with Jean-Claude Van Damme before he got fired for passing out in a suit that made him overheat. And they just like went in a different direction after that. So I wonder if the novelization, just like the ball had already started rolling on that. And so that's why it ended up being so different. Because they're just like, well, we're not gonna rewrite it now. Or like, we're not gonna pay this guy to write it again. So I don't know, but that is interesting.
okay. Well, this is not what I was looking for. I
I
was
know
trying
the
to find.
Wikipedia page for the novelizations, it's like you try and click on the one for the 1987 Predator book and it just takes you to the Predator movie page. And it's like, okay, actually I've already seen that, so that's not helpful. But thank you so much.
Thank you. Very, very. How interesting.
Novelization. Yeah. Well, who can say? No one will no maybe one day someone will read that novel and report back.
Yeah,
Just
if you
because
guys know
I'm
the
looking
answer to
at
this, let
it,
us know.
the poster for this movie is so crazy.
It's so crazy. Am I also frozen for
Yeah,
you
you're
guys?
frozen.
Oh,
Oh,
there we
you
go.
just unfroze.
Yeah. My headphones are also doing something crazy. My computer is like freaking out right now. Sydney,
Maybe
please
it's
cut this
the
part out.
predator.
The Predator is
Oh my
here. Oh my God.
god. Sydney can take
I do
him.
have
Yeah,
I have
I
like
got it. Don't
700
worry.
tabs open, so it might be that.
Me and Hazel.
Anyway,
Hazel's a killer.
Mhm. Yeah, the poster's crazy. The poster's absolutely crazy.
one of my favorite parts about this movie is the very stupid way that they do all of the gore. And I find it to be very delightful in the way that it is so ridiculous. And I was reading this article and they're like, oh, like the gore is super comic booky. And it so is. It really is. Because the audacity of Carl Weathers' arm being blown off by the predator and it's still shooting
It's
the
still
gun.
firing. Yeah. Loved that.
That was so spectacular. I also just love, like, just from a gore lover standpoint, I love that the Predator has this big fucking laser gun that just blows your shit up. Like, that just, like, explodes you. They have so many interesting rituals.
I love that we only see the predator on screen for 8 minutes, and then most of the movie you just see like a weird outline, uh, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, okay, this is kind of bad.
It is kind of bad, but it's also
No.
kind of good.
Yeah, that's like it's like you're
It's
sitting
good
there.
bad.
Like, I'm sure in 1987 it was incredible technology that they were doing, and now you watch it and you're like, this is so bad, but like I don't hate it, but like it's still
I
so
love
bad.
it. I find it to be endearing, and I also bet it was super effective back in the day because it's like Cloverfield, where like you don't see the beastie. Also, there's actually the Cloverfield guy kind of looks a little bit like him in some ways. Anyway, something to think about later. Um, but like you don't see the beastie until super late in the game, so you are just like wondering what he could possibly look like. Um, and I do think, unfortunately, though, they're doing some technology that wasn't really something that the actors understood. Because I read something that they're like, oh, yeah, there's some like special effects where like the actors didn't know where to look. And I was like, I didn't notice that. And then I watched it again, and there's this part where like the predator is like invisible and is climbing down the tree, like literally right next to Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, right next to him. And you can obviously like see the outline of the predator. So you can imagine that the characters can also see the outline of the predator. And it's like climbing down. And Arnold is just staring at a fixed point the whole time instead of his eyes like tracking it as it goes down. And it
Mm.
visually makes no fucking sense. And I was like, yeah, no, they didn't know. They didn't know what it was going to look like. And that's just the footage that they got.
Which is crazy because my understanding of how they filmed it, from what I read, it was like they had someone in a red suit, because that was the color that would stand out most against the green, brown, blue backdrop of nature. So that's what they would be able to like green screen out most easily. And then they had like a second shot of the same area in wide frame, wide lens, or whatever to give it a slightly
Ooh.
distorted look. That they like,
Oh, that's cool.
they basically like cut out the red suit so that it was like a hole, and then they had like the secondary footage behind it to like show through. So presumably you'd think that they would be like acting across, what's his name? Kevin Peter Hall or something like that.
Yeah.
Kevin Peter Hall in the red suit, but maybe he's not in the red suit. Maybe he's only in the predator costume when you see the predator. I don't really know what they were doing over there, I guess.
Yeah, it was crazy. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that part that I'm talking about, though, maybe they couldn't do that because it was such close quarters. I don't
Mm.
know. Because it's like a really close up shot. So I don't know if the same thing would work. I have no idea. But I did think that that looked kind of dumb. But I liked it. I
It
liked
is
the
the
eyes.
80s.
I
Gotta
liked when the
just.
eyes lit up. Yeah. What, like, I'm not expecting perfection.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's endearing. I like that it's like, whoa, it's wiggly woggly see through. I don't know. I just think the concept is very scary. Like this invisible force, like that's in the trees. Like they try all of these things, like these tried and true tactics to like, they're like, he has to come from this direction because we booby tracked every other direction and there's no way that he can get in otherwise. Well, they didn't think about the sky. Okay. Terrifying. No one's thinking about the sky. He's a dragon. He's flying. It's crazy.
Yeah, I did think that it was interesting the way that the Predator worked, all of his technology and stuff. But I can't remember. I think the way that they did the Predator in the movie inspired the real life technology that they were trying to do I guess what I read made it sound like it was more in the time sphere following the movie, but what I remember is from when we were like kids and there was all that military technology that they were working on to try and do like invisibility cloaking that they were comparing to like Harry
Mm-hmm.
Potter invisibility cloak, which is why I remember it from our childhoods. But it was like the concept was that I don't know, I guess they'd have a bunch of cameras and a bunch of screens so that they're like projecting on the front what the camera like is capturing from the back so that it almost appears to not see anything. So I think it is an interesting concept. Like the way that they did it feels like a good application of what technology like that could conceivably be, sort of, as opposed to just being like totally invisible, like Invisible Man or Invisibility Cloak in Harry Potter kind of stuff, where you maybe would see like the trees rustling as he's like. I liked how it was like you could see the figure and the characters could see the figure, and there's that
Uh-huh.
one moment where
But
Mac
it's
is
not
like
like
in his
perfect
hidey hole and he's
invisibility.
like, I
Yeah.
see you. Like,
I
Mm-hmm.
loved that.
yeah.
And then the parallel of like it seeing him in his hiding place and blowing up his head.
And boom.
That was bad FX. Uh, it was terrible, but I loved it. Yeah, I think it's scarier that way. That's like you don't until you know what to look for. It's invisible to you. But like I like also that it's not an unbeatable, unkillable monster because you know that always pisses me off. It's not like fucking Jason
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Michael
If it
Myers.
bleeds, it can be killed, is what they say in this movie.
Exactly. True.
Amen.
Truer words have never been spoken.
There
Can we
were
talk
some.
about the one girl? Oh, do you want to finish, Chelsea?
No, you can go ahead.
Oh. Um, she was kind of unnecessary. I think this should have been an all male movie. Like, I don't know
They were
why, but like,
they
She
wanted to break it up a little bit
provided.
because they thought it would be too gay. They were like, you know what, this is
yeah, but
actually a
that's
little
what
gay.
I
Let's
wanted.
bring in a
Mm-hmm.
girl. Well, I liked it because she very obviously was not interested in anyone and no one was interested in her, though she used her little feminine wiles that one time. Um, but I don't know. They brought in the whole she did that whole thing where it's like, oh, the woman who's like the native from the area knows the lore of the world and like that thing that's like annoying sometimes. But she did that did bring in something that they've used throughout the franchise, which is that like this isn't the first time the predator has come to Earth
The hunter of
and
men.
the hunter of men. He's been skinning bitches in the jungle for decades.
And
Cazador de
collecting
hombres, or whatever they
skulls.
said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still, I don't know. She didn't really do anything for me. I think this should have been an all male movie. Like, really match it up, really get gay with it.
Get super butch. Yeah. I did think
I don't want to even see a
she
Right? She
woman.
could have been like a hardcore butch.
she
That
could
would
have
have been
been
better.
or like a very twinky man.
Yeah.
And then he could have used feminine wiles in that way where he's like so sweet and beautiful looking. But I liked about her character the demonstration that they're not there to just be killing mercilessly innocents necessarily. They're there to hunt, so it's not fun if you're not presenting some sort of challenge. So the fact that she is
Was she
Yeah,
unarmed allows her to escape the predator's targeting.
what
I
kind
do like
who
that. I
was
like that
she
they bring that
again?
into
Like,
the
I know they found her. Was she just like a local person? Like, was she a
She
part
was
of
part
the
of that base camp
mercenary
because
group.
they were treating her like she had very valuable information, and she was too valuable to let free. Carl Weathers had to bring her back, and then they were like, this is your problem, Carl Weathers, but then somehow she was still everybody's problem.
it could
um
have been like a smaller child or something that like they found maybe in the camp and they were like we don't know how you are and then they could have done it that way.
Well, what was so interesting about her too was that she's third billed in the movie. So she got better billing than everybody except for Arnold Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers.
Bitches want to see a woman, okay? They are like, we demand to see a woman, all right?
Yeah, this whole movie is two dudes chilling in a hot tub 5 feet apart because they're not gay.
I don't think that. Oh my god. LOL. She's in Euphoria.
Oh, I just saw
What?
that. Yeah.
Who is
What
she
the
in
fuck?
Euphoria?
Need to rewatch. I don't know. She's Sonia in
For two
Euphoria
episodes.
for 2 episodes. But hey, there's only like 10 episodes ever, so
Right.
that's a big part of the show. Um, Interesting.
She's in
I'm
Predator
like,
too.
what?
So
She is in Predator 2, which I
maybe
have
they'll be
seen, but I don't recall.
revealing more information about her plot relevance as opposed to just being like, we can't have only dudes in this film. We need to have a woman somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, she's definitely not like a real like she's a real character, but she's not like a character in the way where she's like fleshed out in any regard or they give her any character development. Really, they just like she's a plot device to reveal information.
Yeah. Because it felt like
So,
they could have done that with Billy because he's so like dialed in. He doesn't know everything, but he's so like dialed into the fact that there's something going on. And it's like Monica was hinting about this earlier, but there's a moment where he hears like the echo of his own laugh that the predator is like doing, and that's when he's
Mimicking.
like, goes full alert or whatever. And he was very good at tracking it and being aware of it. And you could have had a moment where once he realizes what it is that they're looking at and that they're dealing with, he's like, oh, there's like stories about this kind of thing. Especially within the context of Prey now, although obviously they didn't have that to be referencing at the time. This is referencing, Prey is referencing that. So it felt like you didn't like need her to be essential to reveal that information. But I didn't mind that she was there. The only thing that I didn't like about her storyline is that Arnold is like, get to the chopper. But I'm like, isn't she still their enemy? Like, why is the chopper gonna rescue her?
She's a lady.
A woman. That's why
They
he
can't
feels so
leave
bad
a
when he
woman
hits her with the
behind.
gun.
I read something that was like that's to show that Dutch doesn't just kill anyone. He only kills people that he has to kill cuz they're going to kill him first. And I
He's
was
a
like he killed
gentleman.
like 400 dudes. I don't know, but
Right.
okay.
He
Okay, he's a
exploded
good
that truck
guy.
on a bunch of people.
He did explode that truck on a bunch of people. I don't know. I There's so much going on with this movie, and then all of a sudden there's not, and it's 30 minutes long of Arnold Schwarzenegger and the Predator having a fucking showdown. And by the way, it fucks. It rocks. I love that part. I love it so much because you get to see Arnold Schwarzenegger all wet and covered in mud, and learning things. You also get to see him fall off of a waterfall, which was
Hmm.
I thought some hilarious slapstick comedy thrown in the middle of the film. I thought that was nice. Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa!
Apparently the stunt guy who did that stunt like blew out his knee performing it. So
Oh my
sad for that
god,
guy. This
that's
was like a
terrible.
dangerous set. This was like a tough set
Yeah,
to be on. First of all,
it was
Yeah.
according to
hot as balls.
IMDb, everybody got quote traveler's diarrhea.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
So everybody was getting traveler's diarrhea because they're where they were staying in Mexico was having the issues with their water purification. And there's that one random scene in the movie with that big snake. And I really thought that that snake was going to be relevant to the movie because I was like, they wouldn't bring a snake into set and then not do anything with it. But it turns out that where they were shooting,
they're
poisonous
just
snakes
snakes.
kept encroaching. Yeah, so I think they just like got that shot and then it was like, that's fun. They're in the jungle. But
And we
like
have it.
the snakes, the scorpions, like that was a real issue that they were having on set.
The
So it
large
just
boar.
seems yeah.
Oh my god, the large boar. Thank you for bringing up the large boar. Why did it look like that? Is that what they look like there? I
They
don't know about that.
Here's the thing. The predators do kind of look like large boars because
With the
like large
tusks.
Yeah, large boars are actually really scary and they are so aggressive.
That
50 to
that
60 wild
feral
boars.
hogs, yeah.
Feral
Yeah.
hogs.
How do I get 30 to 50 feral hogs?
I need to have my machine gun, just like in this movie.
It's fucking terrifying. It's terrifying.
I liked another moment I liked was when Billy self-sacrificed himself, because now that I've seen Sinners, I mean, I was kind of familiar with the concept in general, but now that I've seen Sinners where the mojo bag was like such a big thing, him like taking off
Mhm.
his little pouch when he was
Yeah,
gonna sacrifice himself felt very significant.
totally. Yeah. No, because he doesn't ever like explain that. But no, totally. I agree. Sinners really informed that for me this time around. The first time I was like, why is he taking off his necklace? Okay. I was dumb then.
I was so naive. Also,
I
shout
also
out to the director of this movie who, right after this movie, immediately went on to direct the greatest Christmas movie of all time, Die Hard.
I know, I was thinking about you when I saw that he directed Die Hard.
Kings.
And then
King
after
shit.
that, did The Hunt for Red October, another banger.
Wow.
He's only doing iconic shit, okay? He's only doing iconic shit. He's only doing stuff that forever changes the cultural zeitgeist, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. Think about that. It's powerful stuff. Um yeah, oh, other little details that I really enjoyed, like I love that like we love Billy so much and I love the unceremonious killings in this movie that like there's not like a ritual going on with each person like it's just they're fucking gone and that's it. Like Carl Weathers his arm is ripped off. Uh Mac's head is burst into smithereens. We never see Hawkins again. The only person who gets a little bit of like grief and reverie is Jesse Ventura's character, whose name escapes me at this time. Blaine.
Blaine.
Um,
Because
Blaine.
Mac has his little flask and he like, and then he like lays it down with him and then he shaves in his grief and etc.
But I think that Billy's like body reveal is so grotesque. That they like you don't get to see him die or anything. You just see his head, like his body like on the branch and then his whole fucking spinal column
Yoink,
getting
getting
ripped out of
yoinked
his
out.
Yeah.
corpse. Oh, that is so scary to me. There was some horror, like B horror movie I watched as a kid where that shit happens. Not this movie. It's like some sci-fi fucking like trash shit, but iconic. And that's what happens as well. People's whole skulls and spinal columns get ripped out. Really fucking freaks me out for some reason. Really gets me. That's one of my triggers, I guess. Um, but I love that. I also just love like all the different ritualistic ways the predator kills the his prey. Like the skinned alive hung upside down bodies is so interesting and I have like a question about that. Where are their dicks?
They got
That's
Do
eaten.
part of the skin, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's where
I
he pulled
know,
Yeah,
from.
there is no
That's a
but.
very handy handle to grab onto and yank, and then the rest of the skin just came with it.
There is
it's
no
just something I've
dick
never
bones.
considered.
So I guess if you
Yeah,
skin it alive, it's gone.
but
Well,
like there's
there's
skin on top of
flesh in
meat, there's
there.
flesh in there, so would it come? I don't know. Scientists
Would
weigh
you
in.
call it
Scientists
muscle?
who listen to the podcast weigh in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they
Mm-hmm.
can like
Let us
move it,
know.
but maybe the muscle's at the base.
Yeah.
I don't know. I noticed
Can
that the second
any
time
sixth
around. I was like,
grade
huh, no
biology
dicks.
teachers
Weird.
do a little sex ed class for us again?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, explain to us
We need a
how this
diagram
might
and we need it
possibly work.
labeled.
We need it now. Um, yeah, but I love this final showdown between Arnold and the Predator. Because again, I like that he can be beat. I think the mud thing is fun because even if it doesn't make sense, you get to see Arnold Schwarzenegger lathered up in mud, which is innately gay, by the way.
Yes.
That's a gay thing. That's a gay thing. He's mud wrestling with an alien who's also super buff and hot, by the way. It maybe mask on. Maybe we keep the mask on. Uh, but yeah, and I love the part where he's like, I could kill Arnold Schwarzenegger right now. This is the voice of the Predator, by the way, in case you're confused what I was saying. He's like, I could kill you right now, but let's fucking fight man to man. And then they punch each other in the face.
he, he
They get to a
needed,
fist
he
fight.
wanted, yeah, I don't.
So funny. Oh,
I don't
somebody's
know.
got to
I didn't fully grasp what was going on there. I was like, does he not like the look of Arnold's skull after he scanned his head? Did he want to eat him with his mouth? But in my notes I do have not the Predator having a fantastic evil villain laugh, so I did like that.
No, man. I
That's
think
Billy's
that's
laugh.
It was
Billy's
Billy's
laugh.
laugh.
That's
Yeah.
But he
Billy's
knew how
laugh,
to
babe.
utilize it, and that's what's
That's
important.
Billy's laugh. That's
As
why
The
it's always
somebody
so
who
timing.
watches
haunting.
all movies with subtitles on, it is
Oh, it's in
confirmed
Billy
Billy's
voice.
laugh. Yeah.
No, that's what, like, when I watched it again today, I was like, oh my God, that is so fucked up. That he's like about to blow Arnold to smithereens, laughing his dead friend's laugh. Like, that is fucked up. That's diabolical. Now he's
Yeah.
playing psychological warfare games. He's been doing that, but he's doing it again at this important moment. He's like, I might be dead, but you're going to have nightmares every night for the rest of your life, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Or Dutch. I should be saying Dutch because what an iconic name. But I just
Yeah,
want to say
Dutch is
Arnold
a cool
Schwarzenegger.
name.
Dutch is such a cool
Okay,
name.
this is a question for you as somebody who had seen the movie before slash watched the movie twice for this episode. Um, I was confused why Arnold Dutch is making the arrow. And part of IMDb trivia was like, this was the first Predator movie. Only the thermal vision and the infrared vision was shown from the Predator's point of view, but there's our suggestions that there are more types of visions. And then in Predator 2, it introduced other vision modes. Um, and so there's a suggestion that there might be one where, like, you can detect solid metal. And so that's why it's able to know when people are armed and they have, like, the guns and grenades and
Mm,
stuff, but it can't see the bow and arrow
natural stuff.
because otherwise it would be getting distracted by all of the woods and such around them. But did he lose all of his weapons at that point? Had he like gotten rid of them to like not be a target at one point and then needed something else? Like what was going on that he was like, I'll just make a bow and arrow? Did you get any of that?
Um, I mean, I don't know like a definitive answer for you, but like he figured out earlier on in the movie, that like
They can tell when you're
they're
armed,
only
yeah.
they're telling you're armed. They're trying to they don't like they're not going to hurt an innocent person. So I think that could also be like what happened when Arnold is pushed up against the wall by the predator.
Mm.
Just
When
saying,
it picks him up,
sexual. And it pushes him up against the wall.
lifts him off his feet.
Lifts him off his feet,
Like
looks
he's
inside his brain and
nothing, like
said,
he's tiny, like he's
like he's a
fragile,
tiny, like
delicate,
he's the big
like he's
woman.
the twink.
Yes.
Exactly. I think in that moment, maybe he can see that Arnold is unarmed because he doesn't have a single thing on him. So that could be another reason why he lets him go at that point. And then also maybe because he likes, they have like their own type of humanity or they're like, so
But
he's like,
isn't
I
Billy
see
also
you as a
unarmed?
threat.
He like cuts
He
himself and
has
then
the
throws away the
knife.
knife. Oh, he
He
still
has
He
has
the
the
holds the
knife.
knife.
knife. Yeah.
Okay.
But he also cut himself as like a come and get it kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh,
So
you like
he
a
like
taste of
wants to
blood kind of
fight.
deal.
Yeah.
Exactly. But like, I don't know. I think like at that point they've gone through so much together. Predator is like, we should meet each other as equals and just punch each other in the fucking face, mate. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen Prey in a long enough time
Yeah.
to remember how the bow and arrow like feeds into that because like
You'd think, yeah.
that's the main weapon that they have. There is some other business going on, which I won't say because it's a whole complicated fucking who's what's it with lore and the
Yeah.
second Predator movie, and I need to rewatch the second Predator movie to even understand that part of Prey. So there's a lot of other stuff going on.
Maybe it's
But yeah,
like once it really gets its eyes on the bow and arrow, it's like that's obviously a weapon. But it's like if it doesn't know that a bow and arrow is even in the picture, then it's not able to detect it from far away without like a clear visual. So you still have kind of like a stealth
totally. I feel like it could
weapon.
be something like that. I think it'd be something like that. I'm sorry I don't have a more definitive answer for
I
you.
did
I've only
like
watched 2 of the other movies.
That's okay. I did love the mud stuff, like you were saying. I really loved how after the predator chased him down the waterfall, that his cloaking started to like malfunction because it got wet. I thought that that was like a very fun detail. It's like, oh,
I
you
love
got fully
that.
submerged, bitch. Your electronics are not going to work well.
No, I love that because I was like, what's like a logical way that we'd be able to start seeing this bastard all of a sudden, you know? And so
Hmm.
that there it is
Maybe
right
that's
there.
also
Like,
why he like takes his mask off because he's like, my little parrot gun is not going to work if my cloaking is stopping working as well.
yeah. And then he also, I think, is realizing that like the in this moment the because he's a smart fucking guy even though he's a bad guy he's like, oh, I think that my heat vision is actually a deterrent right now. I'm relying only on that and I'm still getting fucked up, so there's something out here that I'm not seeing,
I
so he
can't
like
see
was
with my eyes
adjusting.
through the mask, but the mask gives me the thermal vision and stuff. But if that is not helping me because he's slathered in mud, then I gotta use my eyes to see.
Which make everything pink. Good for him.
I
Yeah,
loved the sparks like raining down and exploding. I just thought that was a fun visual too.
I thought that was beautiful too. I think it's petty of the predator to have nuked everything just because he lost. I think that was rude. I think that was a pussy move.
But the explosion cleared the
And
way for the chopper to get close.
Yeah.
So it was needed.
okay, not fair.
All right.
Fair. Fine. Still was rude. Okay. Any other things we'd like to say before we move on to our
Stegomentos?
Got distracted.
no?
Got distracted.
All right, that brings us to a very relevant question. How could this movie be gayer? They should have kissed before they died. They should have
Yeah.
kissed before everyone was killed. This is a reminder to kiss people while you still can, because you never know when there's an extraterrestrial with a laser gun that can blow up your bow. Okay,
I think this
be
could have
gay now. Don't wait.
also been like a gay enemies to lovers kind of story, you know?
Oh my god, we were so close to
Dark
that. Yeah,
romance, enemies to
That's what
lovers.
happened. They
I
don't want to
bet
tell
that
you that that's what
exists.
Predator 2 is about. They're trying to
Ah,
disguise it, but I think that's what Predator 2 is about.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's the subtext for sure. I didn't want to spoil it for you guys, but yeah. No, I mean, it's just crazy. It's so beautiful to watch this with these eyes and to see it for the gay movie that it is. My God. Wow. It is just overt. Nothing
Here are
is
the
gayer than that
couples.
handshake.
Yeah, here are the couples that I think were presented during the movie.
Break
Um,
it down.
Dylan and Dutch were exes, as we discussed, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that they parted ways because they had very different viewpoints on the world, and then we're like, let's just be friends. We were better as friends. And again, like we said, this movie is reminding them, like, oh, we reunited, and we're like, hey, buddy, hey, pal, and then they were like, actually, I'm remembering why we broke up, and I'm like, am dealing with the heartbreak of that, but I'm also like this fucking guy, my fucking ex-boyfriend. Why is he such a bitch all the
Yeah.
time?
Oh,
I
this
should have known, and I
guy.
should have known better. Why did I
Yeah.
answer his call? It's a very
I knew
relatable
you
film.
were trouble when you
Mm-hmm.
walked in.
Yeah.
Precisely.
Well, because there's that moment, like I talked about earlier, where he says, you're an asset, an expendable asset, and I used you to get the job done. Got it? But his eyes are filling with tears. Um, and then there's another moment where Dylan says to him, we both have scores to settle. And I think that was about his new man, Jim Hopper.
Mm.
But then on the helicopter in the beginning, there's that moment with Poncho and Hawkins where Poncho, I think, throws something at Hawkins and he like catches it without even looking up while he's reading something, and then they look up and they go hee 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 hee. That was their flirtation. I mean, I'm open to the whole polycule thing, but I think that Dutch and Billy now are kind of coupley. I think that Mac and Blaine are totally in raucous gay love.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is just very evident. The way that they interact is so crazy. As soon as Mac was like being weird about being like he's my friend, I was like, oh, they're fucking. And there he tells that
Yeah, it's
story about
just
it's
over.
like they were the only two that walked out and the 32 men got chopped up, and I was like, they def fucked nasty that night. That the two of them were the only survivors. They
Oh
def
no.
went
They were in
home.
a war together. You
They were in a
can't.
war together. They were the only two survivors of that mission. They fucked nasty for sure. Even though Blaine was at the beginning saying, bunch of slack-jawed faggots around here, this stuff will make you a goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus, just like me. But if he's gay, then he's allowed to say it. So, you know? So
Yeah.
Exactly. So I wasn't offended actually,
Yeah.
because I
I actually
immediately saw him as a
lasered
member
in
of the
early on.
community. It was
I
actually incredibly
recognize
apparent from moment one. That's why it's only bad. Like we can say it, but no one else.
F slur
So
November,
fucking
baby.
funny.
It's coming back.
Yeah.
It's always Slur November on Spooky Tuesday. I'm sorry I said that.
But literally every character other than Anna had like a little romance going on, other than General Phillips, but he's, just there for setup.
Yeah, he's just there to look worried on the choppa. Or he's not on the choppa, but when they're setting the choppa, he looks worried at one point later on in the movie, and that is the only time you ever see
Maybe
him again.
his boyfriend is the helicopter pilot, the black helicopter pilot at the end, played by Kevin Peter Hall, who plays the Predator. And he's like, I'm sending my boyfriend out to get my boys.
I'm
Love
sending
that.
out my 7-foot boyfriend to get my boys.
Everybody needs at least one 7-foot boyfriend, you know?
It's
hmm
so important. It is so important.
You can get away with having a 6-foot boyfriend if you're 5 feet, but if you're 5'10", you need to have a 7-foot boyfriend.
Thank you. It's important. Okay. Any other gay thoughts we'd like to share?
So many more gay thoughts.
All right, Matthew Lillard, a natural addition to this crew. I mean, he would be an incredible Hawkins because he
Yeah,
is
that's my
a Jay
first
Baruchel
thought.
type.
He would
He
slay
should
the
have
pussy
been Jay
jokes.
Baruchel on Tropic Thunder, but also I love Jay Baruchel. I had a huge crush on Jay Baruchel at the time of Tropic Thunder, so
I want him to be
never
Anna.
mind. And we're not talking about that. There we go. We solved the problem. No more women. And
Yeah. This movie is not allowed to pass the Bechdel test ever.
I mean, it doesn't anyway. There's only one woman.
Yeah, but
There's
I
only
want it
one
to
woman.
never be able to pass. No,
It doesn't
I
stand a
want to erase
chance.
the females of all species in this franchise.
Yeah.
No. That's why you hated Prey, isn't it? Because it had a
Wow.
female lead.
Wow.
Fucking anti-feminist bitch.
Sorry,
Okay.
I don't want to encroach on queer male media, Monica. Okay, I don't want to take that away from
It's a
them.
different movie, and they're
It's
having
still
different
the
entry points
same
all the
thing.
time. Let a lesbian woman rise. I don't know if she was gay. Can't remember. I have to
I'm
rewatch
sure
it.
she was in my heart.
Sure,
I'm so
we'll
sure she was in my
find
heart.
a way.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, I
my
think he would
God.
be great as Hawkins, but I also did love Hawkins on his own, and those were his own original big pussy jokes. So
He's genius. He's a genius. He's
I
beautiful.
prepared, because of my cosplay, I prepared a big pussy joke for you. An
Okay,
original
do
big
it.
pussy joke.
Okay.
I'm
My
so excited.
girlfriend, her pussy's so big. I love her. I love her big pussy, but her pussy's so big, I took her to the zoo. They put her in with the lions. That's my joke.
Wow. You should do stand up.
Because she has a big cat pussy, because it's so big.
Chelsea, you're so funny. Have you ever thought about
Oh my
doing
God.
a podcast?
I've
Oh
thought
my
about it,
God,
played with the
that's
idea,
so
but it's
funny.
like, who would I even do it with, you know?
Have you ever
You
thought?
should do
I don't have any
improv.
friends who
You're
are
really
as
yes
funny as
anding.
So
Never complimenting this bitch again. Moving on. We're moving on to dumb bitch. Does that sound
Chelsea.
familiar to you, Chelsea?
Sydney for wanting to erase women.
Well, I forgot
Whose
about that
pussy are we
because
gonna
you
talk
just
about?
insulted us. The dumb bitch is, just to bring us back online, I'm sorry, is Carl Weathers, unfortunately, because he's a liar who lies.
Oh,
And
you're
he
tricking your
misled his
ex-boyfriend?
ex-lover.
That's not nice.
Also,
That's not a nice thing to do.
could be the Soviets. Just saying. Honorable mention.
Feels like they've always got something going on. And it was
Exactly.
the 80s.
Honorable mention. But once again, I'm not
It's still
prepared to
going
talk about the
on. There's
geopolitical.
never
Once
an
again, yeah, that feels a little above our pay grade.
It feels a little bit above what I'm ready to say today on our Predator episode. Okay, well, that was an easy one. That brings us to our knives out of 5. So, Chelsea, set the scene for us.
On IMDb, this movie has a 7.8 out of 10. And on Rotten Tomatoes, it has 90% fresh from critics. Oh, no, sorry, I think it's 80% fresh from critics, and I made a typo from what I recall. But it has 87% fresh from audiences, because I remember the audience score being better than the. Yeah. Let me just. Yeah, it is 80% fresh from critics and 87% fresh from audiences. However, it was nominated for an Academy Award at the 1988 Oscars for Best Effects,
Play.
Visual Effects. And I saw on IMDb
Yeah, they
trivia
were
that they
really
were kind
good.
of like, yeah, they were good. But I saw on IMDb trivia that they had some trouble with that because they were like, we don't really know if what we're talking about technically is falling under best visual effects and special effects, or if it's falling under like makeup technically, because it's like a real working suit that they're in. At least for some of it. Like apparently, Kevin Peter Hall was able to control some of the draw with his own mouth, and then they also had like it was like robotically controlled for some of it with the facial features. They could like make it make expressions and stuff like that. So it got kind of put in an unfortunate position because of that, which was interesting because then it was like I think the person who actually won the award had kind of a similar. Oh, what it said was Rick Baker mentioned. It said illustrating just how confused the Academy was over this new blending of special effects, makeup, and visual effects technologies. The same year that it categorized the Predator creature as a visual effect, it honored Rick Baker with an Oscar in the makeup category for his work on Harry and the Hendersons, despite the fact that Harry had been achieved in exactly the same way that the Predator had, with the performer wearing a suit and a mechanical head. In fact, the same actor, Kevin Peter Hall, had performed in both suits. So,
Oh, wow.
but it did get nominated.
Okay, Kevin. Okay,
so that's
Kevin,
cool.
getting around town here, doing cool shit. He was the Doug Jones of his day, so it seems.
It seems.
Damn. Okay. Well, who feels ready to speak? Who feels moved to speak? I don't know if I'm ready.
I can go first. I will say that I thought this movie was fun. I think it would be a lot more fun to watch with friends. I'm not a super action movie person. And I think seeing a movie like that in a theater with a crowd, surrounded by other people, it's easier to be like caught up in the swell of whatever emotion is going on. When I'm watching action movies, frankly, I'm tuning out for a lot of the action parts and I'm like waiting for there to be character interactions again. But I did think that this movie did a good job of having like a lot of character moments for them, like with the big pussy jokes and the Blaine and
She
Max
let that big
stuff.
pussy
I
joke.
loved it. I loved it. I was like, he's being so silly. He's talking about. I don't think he really has a girlfriend, so there's no real human woman who's he's being mean about. He's
That's
just trying to
shocking
make
to
his
me.
little
He's
friends
a
laugh.
babe.
And he's promoting going down on your woman, big pussy or not. So I think that that's a great message to be sending.
Everybody wants a fat pussy, okay?
Everybody
Also,
wants a
you're
pussy
gonna
that echoes
have
back.
Great camel toe, okay?
Look.
Ooh, no one's talking about that enough.
But I also just loved his like the way that he said those lines. I just thought he was very funny. But like there was just a lot of good stuff going on interpersonally for the guys in this movie. So that was a good hook for me personally. Um like I said, it's just not particularly my genre. So I can't give it too high of a score, but I do think my experience would be more fun with friends than by myself. Um, but I think it's like a well done movie, and I think they're doing a lot of really interesting stuff here. And I think it has a lot of interesting setup for a franchise moving forward. So I'm probably gonna give it like I'll give it four knives.
That's fair. You go next, Sydney. I'll go
Okay.
last.
Having only ever watched Prey and not actually liking that one very much, I was like, okay, I'm going to give the original source material a chance. Unfortunately, I don't know if this series is for Sydney. Um, it's,
I gave it a chance.
I
You know what?
tried.
Didn't care for it.
and here's the
I
thing.
tried.
Will I at some point watch some of the other movies? Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch Alien versus Predator. Will I be
Start with the creme de la creme. Jesus Christ.
Will I be rooting for Alien? Yeah, I absolutely will. So I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 5.
Man, I
Jesus
originally was gonna do a
fucking
3 point,
Christ.
and then I was like, "That's too mean."
Y'all
You gotta
don't
follow
know
your
how to
own path,
have
and I support
fun.
you.
Here's the thing. I enjoyed like I like knowing where that meme that I use all the time comes from now. I loved all the quippy one-liners. I love Die Hard, also directed by the same director. Just not for
What's his
me.
name? John Tierney something.
Uh Tiernan or something like that.
John McTiernan.
Yeah.
Well, I love this movie. But I understand like that it's not for everyone. Like action horror is not my favorite genre either. Um but I do love a good, like, hilariously ridiculous action movie. And this is giving me that, plus what I believe to be very compelling horror elements, because I think this is, like I said, a really interesting and one of the. I don't know. There's been a lot of different alien things that have existed over time. I just watched The Abyss, so I'm really in the thick of it right now. My God. That movie is not a horror movie, by the way, in case you get duped by the marketing like I did. Um, but this movie, like, I think it does something cool. And even though it's so silly, it's rife with a bunch of really interesting talking points that are more serious that can be played out and have been played out very successfully in further sequels and interpretations. So that's why I have such a love for this franchise, because they've done it so many different ways, and I think so successfully in so many different ways. And so I think that it's cool that it comes from like humble-ish beginnings. It was Oscar nominated, so actually not so humble beginnings. But like it comes from a silly setup. Like this movie has a lot of silly things about it, but it also has so many things that I'm looking for. Like I do have a huge soft spot for Arnold because I grew up watching his movies,
Were
and
you
I
also in your
love
Republican era when he became governor? Because I was.
no, I was not in my
Oh,
Republican era
it was
because I've never
2003.
felt that way.
You weren't raised
But
to be a
I
Republican? They let you choose your own
no,
politics as
well,
a child?
the person who raised me to be that way was somebody who I fought with tooth and nail every
Mm,
day. So that was one of the
there's a lot of
sticking points
brainwashing in
of
my
our fights.
household.
But anyway, I just thought was a child and was like, "That's crazy that there's an actor
The
who's in
governor.
government, and
I
look what's
loved the
happened now, and
Governator.
look what
Yeah,
happened now." I would die for a
bummer.
governor hat, by the way. That's just saying, I would die for a
The
governor hat.
governor.
That would be. I feel like that has aged in a way where it's fine, and I want it anyway. But I love Arnold. I think he's really funny. I think that like he isn't like the most incredible actor in the world, but he always gives like a fucking like once in a lifetime performance, and I think this is no exception to that. And I do think it's says a lot that this has like entered the zeitgeist in such a way that it's like influenced so many things that we've seen. It's always so fun to see a movie that like answers questions you never thought you had even. You're like, "Oh, okay. I understand the world a little bit better now because I know why this, that, the other thing, Tropic Thunder all happened." Um but yeah, I really, really love this franchise, and I think this is a fucking awesome start to it. And so I don't know. I'm not gonna give it like a 5 out of 5 knives because I don't think it's a perfect movie by any means. I think parts of it are a little bit slow and weird and disjointed, but I think that it's a hoot and a half. So I think I'm gonna give it like a 4.5. And I love it. It's a heart movie for me. And it Chelsea, you're right. It is so much better to watch with other people. Like this is a like throw popcorn at the screen kind of
Yeah.
movie. Like this would
A
absolutely
rowdy
fuck at Sinespia.
screening.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, it would fuck at Sinespia so hard. It would go crazy. At Alamo, have a drink in hand. If it ever plays on the big screen for AMC A-list, which they've been doing that shit a lot lately, I'm gonna be there and I'm gonna have the tall beer from McGuffins and I'm gonna have the best fucking time. So yeah. But that's it for Predator. I'm sorry for myself that you guys didn't like it that much. I do feel personally sad. I'm not even kidding. But we're switching things up. We're changing the script. We're doing a movie that we have wanted to do for a very long time. We being me and Sydney. And that's why I'm passing the mic to Sydney so she can announce it.
Okay. Let's take this next movie back to 5 days after I graduated high school. Because
A
this was the
special time.
first like movie I remember going to see this in theaters like right after graduating high school. And it's one of my favorite directors, Sam Raimi, who did one of my favorite movies of all time, Evil Dead. And I like to consider this movie a part of the, what is it, Evil Dead cinematic universe,
It is.
which
So
is,
are all the Spider-Man.
and also, we have another Justin Long uh,
Who doesn't love
cameo
Justin
this
Long?
month. And the movie we are
Woohoo!
doing next is Drag Me to Hell.
Oh, baby. I'm so fucking excited to do this movie. I never saw it until what was that, Sydney? Like 2 years ago? Have we been campaigning to have this
Yeah.
on the pod for 2 years? At least 2 years. I saw it and I was like, this is a revelation. It's a spooky revelation. And Chelsea has seen it, not seen it, hates it,
I
has
haven't
not
seen
seen
it.
it, or saw it and hated it. Okay, good, good, good. All right. Well, I don't know what you'll think. We'll find out. No one knows. It's a mystery. It's a
It is a
beautiful
mystery.
mystery. Oh, well, we're closing up season 5. This is our penultimate episode. Not this one, next one. Excuse me.
Next one.
Everyone calm down. Next episode is the penultimate episode of season 5. And so it's important. It's important to do something that is shocking maybe to Chelsea. It's important to ramp things up. And we're ramping it up to get into spooky season proper. Oh my god, we're halfway through September. We're about to be in October. Our October lineup is so good. I'm saying that because we haven't picked it yet. We have no idea. So
I'm still campaigning really hard for Clowntober 2's weeks.
I know you are,
Okay,
girl, and
well,
I'm quietly ignoring it every time.
And one of them's my
it's
birthday, so we will be doing
So
a
she's
clown
getting her way for
movie.
that one. She's getting her way for
she's
that one.
gonna win on some of it. And also, my Halloween party
see.
theme this year is Monica's Cursed Carnival. And so it is clown themed. And so I'm partial to it as
We got
well.
the fever.
Um, we got the clown fever. And we've been clown girls, by the way. This isn't new. It's not because of Gen Z likes clowns. It's because we've always
Does
loved
Gen Z
clowns.
like clowns?
You sent me that article. Somebody sent that article that started this
that.
whole clown thing. Somebody sent us this article. This was in our group chat with everyone, and it was like, people are really into clowns these days, blah blah blah. And then I was like, no, we've been clown girls.
Oh,
I
Sydney's
think
the
that was
OG
that's our
clown
other
girl.
group chat, yeah. And then
I was
you
like,
guys
I
were both
didn't
like
said that.
been clown representing.
No,
yeah.
you were part of the conversation, and I was like, I've had my clown girl paintings on my wall
Yeah.
for 2 years.
I've been a clown
And
girl
they
for
are
life.
right up there.
Oh, hold
Clown
on.
girls
Very
forever.
important. Very important.
Oh,
Oh, do your show and tell that you didn't do
Clown!
for Clown in a Cornfield.
no, this is something new.
Something
It's
new.
something new. It's something new. Oh, it's bigger than I thought.
Oh my god, it's cute.
Wow, it
This
is
is
cute
Marcus,
actually.
my
It
new
is
so
cute.
big.
doll.
Oh,
Oh,
It's
I
so
love
big.
him. Oh
Oh
my
my
god,
gosh.
he's adorable.
he's a little son.
so
He's a little
cute.
son. He's a giant. He's a giant little son. Wait, let me speak to him in his language. Hello. Gotta keep that thing on me. I keep it on the desk. You never know.
Hang on me at all
You never
times.
know. You never know. Anyway, I'm excited to do Drag Me to Hell. I'm excited to close out season 5. And I'm excited for you, fair listener, to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Why don't you say something nice like, wow, that clown baby's so cute? 5 stars. Give that baby 5 stars. Easy, done. Written for you right there. Or we'll take a 5-star rating on Spotify. That sounds really nice as well. Or just follow us on social media. We're at spooky_Tuesday on pretty much everything except for Facebook and Tumblr, where we are Spooky Tuesday Pod. And speaking of Spooky Tuesday Pod, put .com after that, and you will get to our website. My God, it's beautiful. There's beautiful things. There's videos. There's gonna be beautiful new artwork on there soon. Keep your eyes peeled. We've got our season 6. Ooh. Season 666. Something to think about. Something to think about there. That's just coming to me right now. Whoa, big ideas are happening live. You can check that out over there. We'll be dropping that in the next couple of weeks. And also join our Discord. We just got a new patron. New patrons are happening all the time. Join our Patreon. And then you get to talk to us.
And then you're going to be a
Discord.
patron.
You want to join our Discord? Join our Patreon.
You gotta be a patron first. That's a Patreon patron first. It's really, really fun. We're having a great time. We're oversharing about our spooky proclivities every single day, and it's really beautiful. And we're watching movies together every weekend, so join. And also, we are on YouTube, and today we're in our camo best. It's beautiful. No one knows that I'm wearing a camo mini skirt, but I know, and I'm not going to show you because I don't want to get up. Everyone knows now. But we all are doing our little baby cosplays, and it's very beautiful. So join us on YouTube, subscribe there, and see it live. See every fucking facial expression we make. See how many times my cat tries to eat my potato salad during this episode. It was like 20 times. It was a lot. Anyway, at the end of the day, have to say thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Bye, spookies. Honk honk.
Spooky Tuesday was created by Monica Height, Sydney Thompson, and Chelsea Duff, and edited by Sydney Thompson. Our gorgeously spooky tunes are all thanks to Tamara Simons, who you can follow on Instagram at Great18. That's GR818_. And our podcast art is by Ryan Brom, who you can follow on Instagram at Ryan Brom Art. That's RyanBrommArt. Learn more about Spooky Tuesday at spookytuesdaypod.com and subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/spooky_Tuesday.